court in the United Kingdom has jailed a Nigerian carer for 8 years in prison. This guy is a Nigerian who came to the UK many years ago. The people that know him are still in shock because the perception that they have of this guy is not of someone that they ever believed would land in prison for what he's been found guilty of. Rufus is a healthcare professional. He's been settled in the United Kingdom and he's working hard in the healthcare sector. There are valuable lessons to be learned from this story of Rufus. So keep watching. Welcome and welcome back to The Real. If you want to hear the latest updates about immigrants in the diaspora, then you're in the right place. If this is your first time, my name is Joy. We share real stories, real experiences of immigrants in the diaspora. Stories to inform and to educate, not stories to scare anyone. So if you like that kind of thing, please subscribe so I can continue to share more of these stories. Now let's just jump into the story of Rufys Onya, because there's something that we can all take from this story. So let's just dive right into it. So Rufus is a 47-year-old Nigerian. He's been working in the care sector in the UK for many years. But before he started working in the care sector, he completed a degree in criminology and worked as a prison officer. So this guy is clever. He then went on and did another degree to become a mental health nurse. Rufus came to the UK in 2005 and he worked hard to improve his life. But one day, Rufus was talking to some of his friends, old friends and people that he knew long time ago, and they were having a conversation. Rufus told them what he was doing for a living in the UK. And some of his friends said, "Look, man, you must be joking. You're working for nothing. This care work that you're doing is going to take you a long time to achieve what we have achieved. It is going to take you a long time to be able to buy a piece of land in Lekki." Some of Rufus' friends, they were doing really well. They were driving nice cars, living nice houses. They were living the dream life, the life that Rufus dreamed of. Rufus said, "Well, what's the way out? What's the alternative?" The guy said, "Look, you have to have a business mind, but don't worry. We have some operations that we can link you up with. You can live the dream and enjoy the life that we're enjoying." Rufus was excited. He wanted to know what they were doing to make so much money to live the life that they were living. Once they told Rufus what the business was, Rufus said, "Well, it's risky, but count me in because I want to live the dream life. I want to live like you guys." Rufus said, "Look, if there's an alternative, count me in." And before you know it, Rufus was making big money. And that big money changed everything. At that time, Rufus had a good relationship with his partner. But Rufus started seeing other women. Rufus now had a side chick. And the side chick knew what Rufus was doing and how Rufus was making the money. But she didn't mind. Now, Rufus said to her one day, "Look, I trust you. And I want you to help me to send money to Nigeria." Because of the amount of money that Rufus was sending, he didn't want to be sending it in his name all the time. So he asked her to help and she agreed. She was helping Rufus to send the money back home to Nigeria. Rufus continued making a lot of money. And because of the amount of money that Rufus was now getting, it was attracting attention from other women. Rufus then left that girl and started seeing another girl. And that was the beginning of his downfall. Now that he was busy with a new girl, he stopped answering his girlfriend calls. He stopped taking her calls, stopped replying to her messages. She started wondering, what is going on? What's happening with the love of my life? And remember, this girl was benefiting from Rufus' empire, Rufus' newfound wealth. But now she realized that what she was benefiting from, Rufus' newfound wealth, new empire, she now realized that someone else was now enjoying it. And after trying several times to contact Rufus, and Rufus is refusing her calls, refusing to reply to her messages, and then she started hearing rumors that Rufus now has a new love. Once she got that confirmation that she wanted, that the relationship with Rufus is over, she decided that he's not getting away with it. He's not getting away with it. She come up with a plan. And that plan was to bring Rufus down. She was not happy. She was livid. But this girl knew that she had all Rufus' secret. And that's when she decided to contact the police. So she contacted the police and told them everything that Rufus was doing. She told them, officers, I know the source of this man's income. This is how he's making his money. And I know where he hide his cash. This girl shared all the information with the police. Once the police, they got that information, they started a surveillance on Rufus. One day, Rufus was driving on the motorway on the M6, heading to Carlisle. On his way to Supply, it was said. Rufus was under surveillance, so police were watching him. And as soon as the police, they saw him, they immediately stopped Rufus. When they stopped Rufus, they asked Rufus, where are you heading to, sir? Rufus became nervous. He was giving them conflicting information. 1 minute he will give them one answer. The next minute he'll give them a different answer to the same question. So the officers were not satisfied with the information, and they knew, straight away they knew that they got what they were waiting for. The officers arrested Rufus and took him into custody. And you will be shocked when you discovered what they found in the healthcare professional's car. So Rufus was taken into police custody and they searched his car and they found 3 kilograms of white substance which they suspected to be Class A drugs. They then went to Rufus' house in Kent. He was living in Kent. They searched his house, and remember, the girl had already told officers all the information about where Rufus hid all his money and everything in the house. The officers searched Rufus' house and they discovered large sums of money under his bed, as she told them, and elsewhere in the house. When Rufus was questioned, he initially pleaded not guilty to the offense. The case went to court and the officers, they have overwhelming evidence that Rufus was intending to go and supply Class A drugs. Rufus still denied possession of Class A drugs with intent to supply, claiming that he was unaware that the drugs was hidden in the car. This was a man that never committed a crime before in his life. He was hardworking, intelligent. But after he had a talk to old friends who told him that what he's doing, he was basically wasting his time. He's never going to afford to live the dream life. Rufus switched lane. He switched lane and became that person who wanted to make quick money, big money. The jury rejected Rufus' claim that he didn't know what was in the car, and he was found guilty and he was sentenced to a total of 8 years in prison. This previously law-abiding, hard-working, intelligent black man will be spending 8 years of his life in UK prison for what he's found guilty of. Rufus is now added to the statistics of black men in prison because he wants to live the dream that his friends were living. What are your views about Rufus' story? A respected former prison officer, role model, mental health nurse was caught transporting Class A drugs worth £300,000 through the streets of Cumbria in the UK. The judge said that the sentence for such offending are significant in order to disrupt the business of being involved in the filth, end quote, that is the drugs trade fueling addiction and crime. He went on to say that Rufys Onya, you are fundamentally greedy and fundamentally dishonest. He jailed Rufus for 8 years. What are your views about this story? Do you feel any sympathy for Rufys Onya? Do you think that 8 years in prison is excessive for the crime? Please leave me your comment in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so I can continue to share more of these stories. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.